F4 threatened a concrete win with rook h2. It created a ton of problems, a ton of things for Fabiano to think about with no time. And what happened then? Black gets too aggressive in their defense, ultimately just loses the d pawn straight up. And so it's just it is a master class, literally, to watch the patience and again, the principle of two weaknesses is a principle referenced in many, many books for a reason, not just because it opens up problems logistically, X's and O's, but practically your opponents often crumble in those moments.
We all love our tall games, our Shirov games, our Morphe games, but this is its own form of art. This is art. And it's art that only exists in the last 10 years. Only Magnus can do this. And literally nobody can come close to squeezing out these positions with the level of regularity that Carlsen does it. Not even Hikaru. I mean, it's absolutely, maybe in Blitz, but he does this in Classical as well. Let's not forget that. He's emulating his exact style in Classical chess, and he's taking it to this Blitz match. And look at Fabi. He says, I need to win this last game. Playing the Sheninghara Gambit and getting a dynamic position. I like it.
I love it. I want some more of it. I need this. I need this aggressive play.
Some more Danny Wrench.
The game he played as Black with the G5 expansion in the Classical Nimzo, the game he played in the Zamish. He's got a little bit of an edge here. Again, we know Magnus has gotten off the hook a few times, but still, this is the game that Caruana has to go for, Danya, to beat Magnus. It can't be, I just believe it, it can't be the small advantage, Petrov, symmetrical structure, IQP stuff. And it's not because Fabi isn't better than maybe every other human on the planet at those positions. But guess who the one human is he's not better at in those positions?
Is it Danny Wrench?
No, it's the guy I'm trying to point to, but I'm a little dyslexic. Thanks, weatherman.
Magnus Carlsen.
Up in the corner. I'm going to try to go up into his corner. I'm going to go up into Magnus's corner of the frame. Oh, I can't do it. Threw up my back. Oh, God.
You're getting old, man.
Yeah. Anyway, you feel me though, right? It's hard because that's one of the reasons why this matchup, if you're Fabio, you got to be feeling frustrated like a lot of people in Magnus's generation, i.e. the Jordan players in the 90s. Like, Magnus is denying a lot of players a championship, and you could argue that Caruana, in his precise style was better certainly than everyone else in his generation, at least for a while. And I know Fabio's not the only one who has that complaint, but it's just hard when stylistically, for Fabi in particular, you're so similar to Magnus, he's just a little better in a lot of those spots.
And also, I mean, this is a banal point, but Caruana hasn't won a game yet.
Yeah.
And, it's not like he doesn't know that he can win. I mean, he's beaten Carlsen a million times, but you start getting under your own skin. You start getting in your own head. I mean, 90 minutes have passed basically without a win for Fabi. So if he can win this last game with Black, that'll actually give him
Fabi's white.
Tremendous amount of momentum.
Fabi's white, but yeah.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, my point holds. My point holds. And
your point.
Why did I think Carlsen was white? I'm not totally sure. So Magnus is the one who gambits the pawn, which Danny is even more impressive to me. The fact that he's up 4 points and he doesn't just say, I'm going to play a Queen's Gambit declined. He says, I want to be up 5 points. But I apologize. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, my point still holds that these types of positions are still what you want if you're Fabi. I think you need dynamic stuff in order to have a chance. Not, like we said, the Nimzos that he had as both black and white. But no, you're right. It is impressive to see Magnus going for this. We see Fabi leaning in there. Magnus letting his soul glow there with the fro.
Yep.
I wish I had hair like that instead of the classic horseshoe pattern. I was born with male pattern baldness.
You've got nice hair. I feel like hair is one of those things where you always want what you can't get. Like, people compliment me on my hair, but I really sometimes wish for straight hair sometimes. But I feel like when you've got straight hair, you feel the opposite. I want to have Magnus's hair and Magnus's rating and Magnus's everything.
Yep. Yep. It's good to be king. Magnus is black here. But Fabi, okay, you have a chance. You're up a little bit on the clock. You are up a pawn, for the record, for those keeping score. Mm-hmm. It's an IQP pawn.
Another IQP structure. Jeez. Yeah.
These guys, they like some IQP. Shout out to Winning Pawn Structures by Baburin if you're looking for a book to teach you how to play pawn structures. Check that out.
It's hard to find, though. I checked Amazon, and it was like
it's out of print. I have a copy. I have a copy here in the office. They don't make it anymore. I found some copy of it on like Amazon selling for like $300 or something.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
just insane. So if you can find winning pawn structures at some random bookstore where they don't appreciate what they have, gobble it up because it's out of print and it's fantastic.
For sure. And okay, Fabi has managed to wheel his way out of the unpleasant position, and now I feel afraid to say this, Danny, but it is kind of a game for two results right now. He's got the extra pawn on t4. It is also passed. But can he break down Black's incredibly rock-solid blockade? That's going to be the question of the day here, of the game.
Ooh, light squares are defended well. Computer didn't like 94. I admit I have zero clues why. Maybe Magnus will teach us.
I think knight b4 looked pretty unpleasant.
Ooh,
but anyways,
knight b4 threatened to fork. I think you're right. That was Magnus's move there. He didn't see it. Bobby doesn't give him another chance. Puts the bishop on d2.
Nah, but are you really going to win this against Carlsen? I mean, do you really have a chance here? Look at his pieces.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's funny when you have a pawn that you kind of wish you could give up, like to open up space. I mean, obviously you don't directly want to, and here you're probably going to lose it anyway. But it's this is going to be a dead equal position, likely a draw. And with 3 minutes left, the only question is how much time goes off the clock first. Will this be our last 5-minute game before a break and the 3-1 segment, or will we get one more under the wire?
I think they're going to find a way to keep this game going. If you're Fabi, I don't know. I don't think you want to have the black pieces in another 5+1 game. I think you want to get this to the break with minimal damage. So if you're Caruana, almost just keep fighting, try to milk the clock down. And obviously there are still chances for white. It's not a draw just yet. I mean, black hasn't won d4 yet.
Yep.
But bishop b3 and g6 maybe?
Play rook d2. If g6 and the knight has to move, does d4 fall?
Well, it definitely does. The question is, does white give it away and then maybe get the knight around through g3 to e4 with a fork threat on c5, and f6 is weak once black plays g6. So some logistical concerns for Carlsen, even if he wins that pawn.
Yeah, really good point. This knight coming in to e4, you've got other potential things. So rook d2 played. We'll see if, okay, Carlsen's going to go for it. Bobby, right on cue, follows suit.
Yeah, what had they seen? 94. Maybe f5. That's a Carlsen type of move. Carlsen likes to make those types of moves.
Yeah. f5 keeps the pony at bay out of e4, and then we clean up on aisle 9 next move. Look at that. Carlsen finds it. The pawn fell off the shelf. Can I get a clean up on aisle 9? Yeah, Brenda. Wait, Brenda went to break 5 minutes ago. She just had a break an hour before that.
Listen, I've lost so many blitz games in positions like this against Magnus. I feel like I have a good grasp on what kind of moves he likes to play. Now, knight e2, bishop c4. And then if white doubles on the d file, the bishop can return to b3. So we actually could get a repetition here if Fabi doesn't find anything better. And I don't see anything better right now.
Knight e2, bishop here threatens to take the knight. So Fabi defends, and we could get a bit. No, this is Carlsen saying he's playing for a win down a pawn.
He definitely keeps alive hopes of winning, especially given Fabi's clock and tendency to overpress in the match so far.
Well, now you got to take on d3. Can't allow that pony to get to e5.
Knight d5.
Yep. So
we should point out that d4 was untouchable because of the rook d1.
Yep. If knight d4, there was a big old pin. Big old pin. Yeah. All right.
Well, rook c8 and knight d5 coming. Black's playing for a win. No question about it. No question about it.
Crazy. Black is down a pawn, playing for a win. Knight better than that big pawn. I mean, bishop on c3, and that's exactly why Fabi gives it up right on cue. He says, you know what? I'm tired of these shenanigans. I'm going to give up the pawn to get a better minor piece.
And Carlsen takes it. Otherwise, the pawn would have moved to d6, and this is definitely heading toward a draw. It's also going to be the last game of the segment, which I think both players are happy with.
Yep. Officially, unless something shocks us in the next 20 seconds, as you can see, the clock counting down above Magnus's head.
So I'm not sure who's playing for a win here exactly at this point. Maybe bishop d4, bishop e3 can be considered. Fabi can try to get his bishop around to g5. The h4 pawn is a weakness. Okay, this is... I don't know about this move.
Yeah, I was highlighting the same thing, that I thought at the very least now you have a target if you're Fabi, but instead He plays G3.
Okay, it
Pawns
doesn't
will be
spoil
split,
anything.
right? Now we have split pawns, which is a target
Yeah.
for black.
Yeah, but with the board being this open, he can go rook e2 check, and he can even just go back to d2. He's trying to play ambitiously, but you get checkmated. Okay, you cannot play rook h8 if you're black. That's actually very important. That bishop on d4. Yeah. I mean, you can.
Sorry, we're not laughing about that.
No. Rook c7, I don't know.
Rook c7, I do love laughing in the face of danger and walking up the board because, last game of the year, Dan. Can't hold anything back now.
Exactly. Rook c7, king g5, rook h7. And if you play h4, he would have gotten mated, but it's a moot point. He's doing this a little differently.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
That knight's coming to e6.
Careful now.
Okay, run back.
And then maybe rook.
Oh, he's going for it.
He's all in. But rook d8 is possible here.
Yeah, but okay, he trades. I was going to say, could he have moved and then tried this idea? He's still going for it.
G5 was interesting, but Carlsen, again, just playing with an abundance of caution. He cannot lose because the f-pawn cannot be attacked. Yeah,
and notice that the pawn is the opposite color square of the bishop. Even worst-case scenarios are likely drawn for black at this point.
Yeah, this is a dead draw. Neither side can make. I mean, black is really the one pushing here, but I don't see Carlsen winning this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Да.
Yeah.
Нет. Not yet.
No,
not yet. Okay. Well, time is ticking, right? We're going to have a very quick break, of course, after this, but you're not going to go anywhere, fans, or Danya will hunt you down and find you.
Yes, I will.
He's a lot like Liam Neeson when it comes to tracking down people who leave his chess shows.